Good afternoon. Welcome to the Toronto Police Headquarters. My name is Police Constable Allison Douglas Cook. Today I will be introducing Detective Sergeant Joyce Searcher of the Homicide Unit, and she will be updating the public and the media on Homicide number 18 of 2017. Detective?
Thank you, and thank you for attending this update regarding the 18th homicide for 2017. By way of background, on Friday, April the 21st at around 9:30 p.m., Leonard Pinnock was fatally shot by two offenders as he sat in his parked vehicle. This was in the area of Dufferin Street and Bowie Avenue in the city of Toronto. Mr. Pinnock, a resident of Hamilton, was 33 years old at the time of his death. On May 21st, a video capturing the two offenders was released to the public in an effort to identify them. One offender in the video could clearly be seen to have a side pouch and to be wearing a hooded article of clothing. Yesterday, on Tuesday, June the 13th, in the morning, a resident of Bowie Street was cleaning out his backyard when he located a loaded semi-automatic pistol. This firearm appeared to be in poor condition, however, was fully functional, and a round was accidentally discharged. The purpose of this media release is twofold. Firstly, to thank members of this community for their overwhelming cooperation and support of this investigation. Secondly, and more importantly, on a public safety note, I would like to remind those who may find weapons on their property not to touch the items. No matter how inoperable they may appear due to poor condition, they may pose a great threat to the safety of those handling them. As it stands, 3 items were recovered from this location. One was a black Nike hoodie. Another was a Gucci side pouch, what I would describe as a side pouch, and a loaded semi-automatic firearm. Those items are displayed here today.
Good. Any information that anyone coming forward, tips coming forward, helping you identify the suspects?
As I said, I really feel like this community has really cooperated with us to the best of their ability, but certainly we do need those in the inner circle of those two offenders that were released. If they could go to the link, I'm sure it's still on the internet, if they could go and try and assist us with identifying those two offenders. There's no doubt in my mind that those who are familiar with those two individuals know who they are. And I'm asking those members of their friends, family, associates, whomever, to come forward and identify them.
Were you able to get any prints off the weapon?
We just located it yesterday morning, and it takes a while for these items to be processed forensically, and they have been submitted for that kind of testing.
Let's not say more about the victim at this point. Was Hamilton any more about it, what he was doing there?
Yeah, as I said in the very first media release and the second subsequent one, actually, Mr. Pinnock was doing a favor for a friend. He drove a friend from the Hamilton location to that particular area in Toronto as a favor, and he was just waiting for his friend to arrive.
Was there any thought that it was mistaken identity, just some sort of random thing?
You know, our investigative team has a very open mind with regards to motive, and that's certainly one of the things that we're attempting to answer, mistaken identity.
Can you tell us where the bag and the hoodie were found?
I'm sorry?
Where was the bag and the hoodie found?
And the same property as the firearm.
And how do you know it's related to the Pinnock case then?
Well, if you go back to May 25th, when the video was released of the two offenders, which were captured on surveillance camera, the actual homicide is captured on video. You can see one of the two offenders clearly has a side bag. He's wearing a hooded article of clothing, much like the one that we're presenting here today, and he has a firearm. So the fact that these 3 items were found on Bowie Street, the murder occurred at Dufferin and Bowie, One of the offenders is seen to be wearing 2 of these articles of clothing and has a semi-automatic firearm. I'm going to suggest that these are items related to that incident.
Can you describe what the stuff was found in the yard? Was it hidden or just sort of discarded?
Right. I'm not going to get into the exact details of it, only that obviously we're more than a month out of the date of the incident, and the homeowner didn't discover it until yesterday, if that assists.
Did he handle the weapon at all?
Yes, and that's why it prompted me to come forward today, because I thought, you know, the public safety outweighs any compromise to this investigation. You can see the state of this firearm. It looks fairly decrepit, and you know, it was handled and a round was accidentally discharged. Fortunately, nobody was hurt, but my concern again is that there are 2 offenders, there are 2 guns, and if somebody should discover a weapon in relation to this incident or maybe future or past incidents, I want them to please contact police immediately and not attempt to handle any weapon found or located, and let us deal with it.
So the safety wasn't on. The guy was curious. He sees the weapon discharged type of thing.
It's not a matter of being curious. I wouldn't classify it as curious. It's a matter of locating a weapon that you clearly know isn't your property and picking it up. Just leave it. Leave the weapon where you found it. I can understand that the way that this weapon presents. Initially, it looked like it may have been there for a while, and it was the opinion of the finder that it wasn't operable, and certainly I don't believe that he thought it was loaded.
Can you say, do you think this weapon was probably poor shape to begin with, or is this all just from being out in the weather the last month?
Again, it has been exposed to the elements. If it is indeed the weapon involved in our homicide, again, this is well in advance of any test results that we have commenced. But it is operable. It's a 9mm, and I don't know what the shape of the handgun was in prior to it being discarded in this location.
They were all found in the same area?
They were all found on the same property, yes. Yes.
In a backyard?
Yes.
And is the person okay, the one who accidentally discharged the firearm?
Yes, thankfully the finder is okay and nobody was hurt.
Is there a laneway behind that house or any security video that may help you track who dumped this stuff there?
Well, yes, that's an area that we are going to seize on any video in the area, and we've done a very extensive video canvass initially and subsequent to the finding of the firearm.
The round that was discharged, did you find it, and did it go into anything in the surrounding areas?
Yes, we found it. We located the shell case and the discharge fire.
Can you say where it went into?
It went into a typewriter that was stored in
In someone's house or?
No, it was in a garage. Fortunately,
And that's the indication from that shot?
yes, yes.
And how long do you think it'll be until you get your forensics back on possible fingerprints?
Well, this is the golden question always with these types of investigation. They're very complex. I imagine that the fact that these items have been out and exposed to the elements are going to impact the type of testing, the length of testing. And I'm not a biologist or a forensic specialist by any means, so I am very grateful for the work that they do at the Center of Forensic Sciences, and I'm hoping that we get it sooner rather than later. That's the best answer that I can get, and that's the best answer that I've been given.
But even though this person touched the weapon, you think there's still a possibility the suspect prints could be on that weapon?
Well, we always test for everything, and naturally, because we are fully informed with regards to the finder touching this, we've asked for consent DNA and fingerprinting so that we can eliminate that person should it come up.
Do you think someone may, or your hope someone may recognize the clothing in the bag as well
I am. I'm hoping that if this puts people over the edge with regards, if they're on any type of fence, like it could be, or I've seen so-and-so wearing that hoodie and has, it's a Gucci side bag. So I don't know how common that would be. I'm hoping that somebody has, you know, a conscience. If they do know or have an idea, and they can call the Homicide Squad, they can call 13 Division Crime Stoppers, and let us know.
Any last questions?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, early on you actually mentioned or urged area residents to check their yards for any
I did.
discarded stuff. So did you have an idea something clothing may have been discarded?
No, that's something that's like a staple question that I ask anybody when people flee the scene and I'm not sure which direction they go in. I know that whenever I run for a bus, I typically lose something, you know, out of my pocket. So it was just on the off chance, and it just, you know, it happened to be a pointed question. And this person did not see the media release, otherwise they would have searched their backyard. So, but people in the area did, and I'm really grateful to this particular community for their cooperation and response to our requests.
Anything found inside the bag?
I'm not going to be getting into any further evidence if we did or did not. I just want to release this for the time being, but mostly on a public safety note, I want to urge people to please do not touch any weapons if you locate them in your backyard, either in this community or any community. Okay, thank you.
This concludes today's news conference. Thank you.